So I wanted to thank everybody who came over to the live yesterday and supported. It was crazy. There was a lot going on. I'm learning very quickly on YouTube that it's really not that much different from TikTok at all. Now I know right now a lot of people are going through and changing their names because you don't want to put your real life on social media, right? You don't want to put your real name on social media because you don't want people going after you in real life, right? So I just wanted to say I really love all the support. I love all the new names. I think they're great. I wanted to thank everyone who's being mods for me, and I really appreciate your support and helping me out with my channel over there. You know, I really feel like this is a team effort. We're in it together. We all have a common goal. And at the end of the day, we're here for Sebastian. All drama aside. So while my live was going on, Clue had a live at the same time and Christopher Proudfoot went up. And I went on this morning to go check it out and it's privated. I was like, oh my God, of course. This is so frustrating because it seems like this is happening more and more. And I love YouTube because it records everything. But then people private it and you can't see it. So it's you got to screen record their lives too. Well, lucky for us, we did get a little clip. Let's listen to this.
See, it ain't nobody's damn business. This case has gone from a missing 15-year-old boy at the time to now a 16-year-old. Went from talking about Sebastian to somewhere this roller coaster jumped track and got on this other fucking ride that has become a show of attack parents on all sides, attack creators because they don't agree with one person they like or the other persons don't get along. It's become a whole fucking weird shit show. And it makes no sense. I hope, truly, at the end of all this, everybody can go back, look at each other, and say, look, we screwed up. Everybody needs to have some form of an agreement. Stay the fuck away from all these children. You want to talk about a case? Talk about a case. Don't dig inside the families. Don't. You want to dig inside suspects? Sure, go for it. The suspects, not everything attached to them. It makes no fucking sense how this has gone from a true crime community to a fucking straight up bullshit, drama-filled, Oprah, soap opera, Emmy Award-winning, Oscar-nominated bullshit thing I've ever heard my entire fucking life. If the Oscars and Emmys had a fucking category for the biggest bullshit shit show, I'm pretty sure YouTube could win it. TikTok is a runner-up, and whoever else is fuck there.
So rumor has it that Chris was very upset because Hong and At Night had put up a bunch of billboards for Sebastian. Well, why would Chris be upset about billboards helping to find Sebastian? Well, the billboards that were put up for Sebastian came with some words that were carefully chosen. And I'm sure that it made Christopher Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot feel a certain type of way. They're very vague, but I think it's enough for Christopher to feel a certain type of way and want them to be taken down. Now, I'm not so sure that they'll be able to be taken down. I don't know how that works. Do y'all know?
One billboard down. We're working on getting a couple other ones down. Yeah, that's bullshit what they did, so.
Well, if you notice, At Night keeps their little bitch asses in Pennsylvania.
Now, I cut it off because he makes some very disparaging remarks about Hong's weight. and did some shaming, some body weight shaming on Hung. And I don't want to get no, I don't want to be breaking no guidelines here. So I don't want to play it because it was pretty strong language that he used. But that being said, can you guys imagine being Queen and Cluminati sitting on panel next to Christopher? Both of these ladies definitely overweight, okay? And some arguably more overweight than Hung. Substantially, arguably, way more overweight than Hung. So I can only imagine how these two ladies felt sitting next to Chris on panel while he fat shamed Hung. That was definitely kind of weird to me. I also personally feel like the billboards are so vague that, I mean, if the shoe fits and you feel a certain type of way about it, you know what I mean? Like, most people driving by are not going to understand the reference, if that makes sense, unless they're familiar with the case and they know that At Night made this in reference to a particular person, which we don't even really know. Now, Chris says we should dig into the suspects, but not the family and not the parents. Does he not realize that the family is the number one suspect when a child goes missing? And that the best way to truly understand what happened to the child is to understand his life. And the better that people understand his life and what he was living and what he was dealing with on a daily basis, the better they can understand if he ran away or if he was potentially kidnapped, etc., etc. Does he not realize that the fact that Katie refuses to come out and look for her son or speak on her son on a regular basis and show more effort than what she's doing? Like, even Elevated Truth calls out Katie and says she's not looking. And Christopher says, well, how do you know she's not looking? How do you know that she's not looking privately? Well, that's not looking. That's not screaming to the rooftops, screaming for help and looking for your kid. And even he called it out, which is, a big part of what started the whole falling out there. It's just like Casey Anthony when her child went missing. It's highly suspicious behavior when your child goes missing and you don't seem to care. And whether you do care or not, the impression that's being put out to the public is that the mother does not care that her child is missing. She doesn't go to the vigils. She doesn't go to the searches. She's not out there on social media begging and pleading. In fact, when she talks about him in the past tense as though he's already gone. Now, they've gotten friendly with various YouTube creators, but when creators like Stephen Crabtree do a spirit box indicating and implicating that Sebastian is no longer with us and passed on, the parents don't get mad. The parents don't even seem to care because they too believe that Sebastian is gone. And that's a huge red flag. That's a huge red flag. Probably bigger than all the billboards together hanging up. Maybe they should put a huge red flag next to one of those billboards because it's red flag behavior and it should be on a billboard. To let everybody else know, if you're a mother and you have a missing child, you should be putting in some effort to look for them. When you publicly say that if the public knew what Sebastian had done, they wouldn't be looking for him, that's a red flag. When you're hanging out with people who publicly stated factually that your missing child is an SO, and you don't publicly come out condemning that, that's another huge red flag. He gave you the green light to look into the suspects. Stay salty, beaches.